Hi guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Property Queen TV with me, Gwen. And today we're at Jardin Coffee and Tea Petaling Jaya and we'll be speaking to Aldrin Tan from Esprit Estate Agents Sdn Berhad. Hi Aldrin.
Hi Gwen, thanks for having me here, and hi everyone.
So Aldrin, thank you so much for joining us. So today we'll be talking about financial planning and how millennials can get their first home. So when we talk about millennials, what do you think about millennials these days?
Now, personally, I feel a lucky bunch, if I might say, all right, as compared to a previous generation. For example, me, I'm 40 plus, all right, so my generation, we're expected to take care of our parents and also for our kids.
What are the essentials we need to consider before purchasing a house?
The most important thing is what is your ability to hold, okay? What is your holding power? So I think the key thing is number one, your ability to actually pay your installment in the long run. Now, averagely, people who are in the early 20s, mid-20s or probably up to 30s, early 30s, buying a home or a property, you will involve a 25 to 30 years of installment. That will be almost like your whole working adult life, yeah? So the key thing is ability to pay. Now, also another thing is maintenance. Very important, whether you are in a stratified property or you are in a non-stratified. A house, I would say, it's like a car, you got to maintain it.
Okay, so we talk about return of investment as well, right? So do you think that financially planning our funds and buying our first property, the return of investment, it is very important, but what steps can we take to improve the return of investment?
Yes, to look at the rentability of the property. So the rentability of the property will also translate down to the demand of the property. Now, rentability also will in a way contributes to capital appreciation. If your rental is high, your return is high, you can actually sell the property at a higher price and your next buyer will also enjoy a relatively reasonable return.
And of course, like many people do not know about DSR. Like personally, I didn't know about DSR, which is the debt service ratio. So could you elaborate more about this and give us an example? Because this is a calculator. And of course, how is it relevant to our financial plannings?
Yeah, okay, basically DSR is debt servicing ratio. So it's actually a ratio where the bank will use to gauge against the amount that you are able to borrow or the amount that the bank is willing to lend. And also it's also a gauge by the bank to determine what is the repayment feasibility. So basically there are two components of the ratio. First will be your commitment. Okay, basically the ratio is your commitment against your income. So what are the commitments that the bank will take into consideration in calculating the DSR? Will be your existing whatever installment that you have, car installment, house installment, credit card, which is your minimum payment. Normally it's about 5% of your credit limit against your net income. So net income will be your gross income deducting your EPF. And in terms of DSR, so normally based on this ratio, it depends on the individual bank. But usually, bank is still able to give a loan if your DSR is between 50 to 70%. So it really depends.
So take me as an example. Let's say my monthly income after EPF, SOCSO, and income tax and all that, it's 3,000 a month. So, and with 3,000 a month, I don't have any commitment at all, no commitment, and I'm clean lah, CITOS, everything clean. And what kind of a price range I can purchase at the property? What are the price range within?
3,000 now, as I mentioned just now, DSR, meaning to say your commitment versus your net income. Now this commitment itself will be based on your existing commitment that you have, which you say is zero. It will also take into consideration of the new commitment you're going to have when you take a loan from this particular bank. Okay, so the ratio of 50 to 70%. Let's just say you apply to a bank where they take a DSR of 70%. So 70% in this case will be 70% of your 3,000, which is about 2,001. So for 2,001, it depends on your age of 25. You are about what, 25 years now. So most of the bank will be able to give about 30 years. So if you look at about 25, at the age of 25, you can take about 30 years term loan. Very likely, you could have probably estimated to be about 300,000 to 400,000 loan. that you can get.
Okay, so I want to know because I haven't buy my own property yet. So sometimes we think about buying a new property and a subsale property. Which one would be better for a first-time home buyer?
Now, in terms of cash outlay, if you buy a new property where there's rebates given, so obviously you don't need not to come up with so much cash. You can even come up with almost zero cash. As long as you are able to get a loan, then it will be a lot easier. And most of the new property, of course, quite a lot of things are so-called given free. So from the ease of owning the property or barrier entry of purchasing a property, buying a new property will be a lot easier. So from that angle, you can say that it will be better.
So we support that purchasing a property it's leading us towards a better investment. We can get a return of investment
Yes,
because
that's
property
right.
appreciates, right?
Correct, yes,
So
that's right.
youngsters nowadays, I think we should really look into all of this, plan
Yes.
properly,
Yes,
and
that's
go to the calculator, check your DSR,
Yes, that's
and
right.
see
Yes.
if it's okay. And if it's okay, then I guess everyone can own a property.
Yes, owning a property is not it's not difficult. Yeah, and I've been a real estate agent over the last 22 years, especially first-time property buyers. The moment they sign the SMP, quite a large fraction are actually quite surprised that actually purchasing a property is actually pretty much easy. I think it's a lack of knowledge of quite a lot of things about property investment.
Yes, correct.
DSR, how does the bank calculate, and what does it take to actually own a property. It's something where you see, ask any of your friend, okay, or you look at what is happening surrounding. There's this thing about fearing of buying a property. One of the things is when people buy property, the first questions when we sell property is, how much can I rent? Got people rent. Am I right? Now, the flip side is, it's a lot easier for us to make a split decision and say we want to buy a car. We walk in the showroom, we get so tempted, and then we just place a deposit and we buy. So do we really ask ourselves, can we pay the installment? Of course we will. But my point is this, the car doesn't give you the return at all. You know what I mean? So sometimes, it's in a way quite ironic in terms of how we make decision as a consumer. Having that barrier being lifted, when you buy a property and you can't get a tenant and how much you're going to get, similarize it by buying a car. Okay, we make a much faster decision. We don't think about whether we can pay an installment, which we will in a way, but that wouldn't stop us from buying a car. So then why would that stop us from buying a property?
Okay, thank you so much guys for tuning in to this week's Property Queen TV. I'm your host Gwen. Special shout out to Jardin Coffee and Tea Petaling Jaya for letting us use this place. And of course, special shout out to Aldrin from Esprit Estate Agents in Berhad. Make sure to check them out. And of course, for more event updates and of course more videos like this, make sure to click our Facebook and Instagram as well as www.propertyqueen.com.my. Till then, I'll see you again. Bye! Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and of course,
Thank you for tuning in to Property Queen TV.
okay. Hey guys, that's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to Property Queen TV, and I hope you guys learned something today. I know I did. And of course, special shout out to Jardin Coffee and Tea Petaling Jaya for letting us use their cafe. There. What am I doing?
You can do this.
Hey guys, that's all for today, and I hope all of you have learned something. Thank you so much for tuning in to Property Queen TV. Special shout out to Jardin Coffee and Tea Petaling Jaya for letting us use their cafe, and of course to Aldrin from Esprit Estate Agents in Berhad. For more videos like this and events update, remember to check out our Facebook page and Instagram, and of course visit our website at www.propertyqueen.com.my. Till next time, my name is Gwen. I'll see you again. Bye bye.
Boom, got it.
Yes!